Wayne, you got a chance to play Crash the N.Sane Trilogy, didn't you?
I did. It was a nice blast from the past.
Tell me about your experiences with the old Crash games before we get into this new one.
I can't remember which one it was. It was probably the first or second one. And I didn't have a lot of patience when I was a kid. So I probably got like really fed up with it and moved on to something else really quickly. So it was kind of nice to come back as an adult and try to play it again.
Oh man, I have quite a sordid past with this. I never owned a PS1 myself, but I had friends who owned it, so I would only ever get to play it when I was at a friend's house. You know how it used to be when we were 90s kids and whatnot. So, first game. I hated the first game, but it wasn't the first one I played, but I could not get past like the third or fourth level of the first game. I was just so frustrated. I got so many proper game overs to where, you know, you lose enough lives.
Yeah.
I don't know how far it takes you back when you lose all your lives, but...
It takes you back to the beginning
yeah.
of the level.
Yeah, no, that wouldn't matter because it was... I think it's one of the boulder levels that's coming towards you.
Yeah,
and
the Indiana Jones ones.
Who thought that was a good idea?
That was a great idea.
Why?
It's just it's kind of a fun concept. I always like the games where you run at, you know, you have to run at the camera.
I like it when Sonic does it because there's not that much expectation of dodging stuff. You just occasionally might have to have enough ESP to hit one of the ramps, but there wasn't a whole lot involved when it was Sonic. When it's Crash, though, that is some precision platforming and a boulder.
Yeah. It stays true to the originals. It is very frustrating. They didn't give it analog stick support, and it's got like the rumbling and all that. So like they updated that from the original game. You're better off using the D-pad instead of it's a little bit tighter. That game was meant to be played with a D-pad anyways.
Yeah, I understand that, and that's what I've heard, so I probably will do it, but my frustration doesn't end with the first one. The second one, I didn't get to play much of, but I also didn't like that much because the levels just were not that interesting to me. So the thing is, the first actual Crash game I really liked was Warped. And again, I still only got to play when I was at a friend's house, but he was cool enough to let me have my own save file. So I finally got to play through the game. And I enjoyed my experience. I still didn't get it 100% because, unlike a lot of other games that you can beat, Crash is really, really hard. Like, I think the third was the easiest of them, but maybe that was just me getting better. But I loved everything more. I loved the level design. I loved the portal thing that you did in the hub world.
Yeah, I like the portal. It's still set up like that.
It was cool. It was really cool for 90s me to see you get, sucked into this vortex and then you're in a new zone. There was, Neon Future. There was
the surfing one.
The desert one. It's just it had a lot of variety, and I loved it for that. They didn't care where it was at or where it was based.
I mean, they play pretty much exactly the same. It's still like the jumping is still really hard. You think you're gonna land on the platform and you don't, and it is the same game, but it looks beautiful. Like we always thought, I remember when I first played Sonic, I was like, oh my god, it looks like a cartoon, and it just kept getting better and better after that, and but now it like legitimately looks like a cartoon. Like it looks like that Ratchet and Clank movie. You know what I mean? Which they should do a Crash Bandicoot movie. That would be awesome.
They did. They're doing a lot of kid-centric movies lately. I mean, they gave not Ratchet and Clank, or was it Ratchet and Clank? They got a kid. Yeah, they got a movie recently.
Yeah, that was bad though. I mean,
and then they got a game based on the movie, and the game was bad too.
Really? Well, at least
actually, I heard it's all right, but
consistency is important, Kurt.
Yes, it just depends. I guess it depends on your extent for your value of nostalgia on these, because I looked at this game and I appreciate that they made it because this is one of those old favorites that deserves a remake.
Yeah.
But it's actually not one I really want to play yet. because I don't have that much fun as for Crash. In fact, going further into it, I played one of their worst selling games, Twin Sanity or something.
I don't think I ever played that one.
It was really hard, and they did some sort of hub worlds thing with it. It wasn't like open world. This was not open world centric everything like today is now, but it was hub world, so you had to like travel to each level, and it was stupid and hard. And so I don't know, that left the sourest taste in my mouth, and I never went back after that. But you know, if you like Crash, would you play this one, right?
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. If you like that era of video games, you should absolutely play it. I mean, it's just an updated visually, version of that you can play on your newer system. So a lot of people don't have the old games anymore, So this is perfect for somebody who's like, oh shit, I love that game. I played it all the time when I was a kid. Hey, you can get it, And I think there's a lot of games they could do that with. Like, now it would be depending on price. I would never pay $60 for a game like this. Like, that seems to be the standard video game price.
This was half, right?
What was it, like $40?
30, yeah.
30, something like that. Like, that's worth it. You're getting 3 games in that. You're getting 3 games, you're getting the nostalgia. They didn't really add any extras.
But it looks a lot better, though. I saw the comparison, and they got that fur shading going on. Yeah. And the levels that are less blocky, even the ones that, should be blocky, they really, rubbed out all the edges.
Well, yeah, I mean, that was the whole point of it. It's an old-gen platform.
For a new audience?
For a new audience.
Awesome.
I let my kids play it, and they loved it, because it's that kind of game where it doesn't matter how old it is. That's a fun game.
It's a pure game. It's gaming in a more pure form than probably it is right now.
Yeah, it takes away all your choices. You don't get to go over there if you don't like it over here. You're kind of just stuck. That's it. You know what I mean? You either beat this part or you just give up and accept that you're a loser.
Actually, I heard that they, I'm not sure how 100% this is, but I heard that they actually did modify some of the levels to make certain parts slightly easier, because they recognized frustrating levels and wanted to redesign it.
I don't know, man. From what I've played of it,
I know they had to build the game ground up. Like, they weren't able to just port in the levels. They had to recreate them. But from what I understand, there's a little bit of changes to make it more fair in order to make it feel actually more like how you remember it.
I don't think so. It seemed to be as frustrating. I mean, we could probably look and see if they did that, but I'm pretty sure they didn't. Naughty Dog didn't have anything to do with the remake, and Vicarious Visions kind of took the reins, and they did a really good job. I think one of the only other things that they added was the autosave and the manual save. I think that was the other biggest feature that they added. But other than that, they kept it to the original. You can unlock his sister, and you can play her on a lot of levels that you couldn't before.
I think I got that in Warped, but now I don't remember. #only the facts.
You have to beat the first boss in each game, and then you unlock it or something.
That's sounding familiar to me, so good, faithful adaptation. What's your recommendation then?
For the price tag, it's a great game to have. You're getting 3 different games. Yeah, I would recommend it. I mean, if you like that old kind of platform game, but it's a solid recommendation. It's a fun game. It's super frustrating. It brings you back to being a kid. I recommend sitting on the floor in front of your TV. Playing it. That's the best way to experience it. Or if you played it in college, get drunk and play it, or get super baked and play it. Or
is it the Dark Souls of children's platforming mascot games? Because everything has to be the Dark Souls of something now. So,
I mean, yeah. Let's say Crash Bandicoot is the Dark Souls of
mascot platforming.
I like that.
Alright, so if you're interested in playing the Dark Souls mascot platforming, check out the game. For more videos like this one, find us on YouTube, Hard Mode Gamers, and the website, hardmodegamers.com. I've been Kurt.
And this is Wayne.
Comment below and tell us what your favorite feature of this remake was, or if you didn't like it, let us know. And don't forget to like and subscribe.